What's the back in the video? In today's video, we're going to talk about some of the MW3 leaks, kind of going over everything that we know of currently for the next title. So there's been quite a bit of information leaked over the last, I'd say 3 days, 4 days, maybe even longer than that, probably about a week. Things that kind of concerned about, but also a lot of things that I think are really, really good. But I think it's important to talk about the fact that Activision has been bought out by Xbox. The lawsuit between the U.S. government and the British government and the European governments have all pretty much concluded by this point. I think Europe is still kind of fighting it, but it's pretty likely that they will succumb and let Xbox purchase Activision. But here in the States, as of I think 2 days ago, they officially owned it. And what does this mean for the future of Call of Duty? Well, I don't really know. I would like to say it means something, but I don't think it will be something we'll feel yet. I mean, a lot of people are saying that it's gonna be game changing currently, and I just don't believe that, to be honest. I just don't think I just can't think of a world where that will be an effect that we'll see for at least 2 to 3 years, because it takes time for things to alter when it comes to something like Call of Duty and how big and massive it is. So we know for a fact that COD is going to be on PlayStation for at least 10 years, via information known from the Xbox and Sony CEOs. But with Xbox acquiring Activision, there is some things that I think they could do to prove that they are worrying about the players and not just the buck. One being, I think the biggest one being, getting rid of SPMM. Getting rid of it or adjusting it to a point where it's not nearly as bad as it is currently. And then obviously, Xbox needs to get a handle on the cheater situation. Strike packs need to be hit harder. I think if you're strike packing your console and your IP should be banned. I think if you're a piece of scum, you should get treated like scum, pretty much. Something Activision hasn't really been doing, because when there's people with strike packs, they're just banning an account. They're not really banning their IP, which means they're just creating another account and causing more issues. And I believe PC also needs to be removed from cross-platform play. I think PC should be on their own. They want to act like they're the best console gaming platform, whatever you want to call it, in the market, then they can do it on their own. I think majority of cheating is coming from PC players. But that's just some of the things that I think that they need to hit, and they need to hit hard. But let's get into some of the leaks. Now that we have kind of an idea about the whole transaction with the Modern Warfare series and all the other Call of Duties at Activision and Xbox and all that. So the biggest things we did learn was the new perk system is going to be very interesting. So perks will no longer be based on your class; they're going to be based upon your gear. Ninja will be something you can put on your boots or your arm, your upper plate, your plate carrier, or your helmet. And so on and so forth. So I think this is going to change how people build their game. I think this is a really cool feature. I think a lot of games do it. Destiny 2, for example, does it, where you can attach different abilities or perks to each individual gear set. But I'm very interested to see how they actually go about this and how they handle it, because it'll be very interesting. We do know the fact that the Ninja perk is returning, so that's a big W. We really haven't had a real Ninja perk in a long, long time. The last one I could think of, the game that had a true Ninja perk, would be like, Black Ops 3, maybe World War 2. I don't think BO4 had a Ninja perk, or they had something similar to it, but not a real Ninja perk. We have the classic minimap returning. So currently, the minimap we have is pretty dog shit. Just works really shitty. But we're getting the original minimap back, where you shoot on the map, you pop a red dot, and all that type of cool stuff. We're also getting War from World War II. So if you guys played World War II, you guys would know about the whole War mode, which is kind of like, for example, the one of the missions was to guard a tank, or at least I think 2 of them are guarding tanks. Actually, now I'm not even thinking about it. I'm saying I think all of them are guarding a tank. Basically, you guard a vehicle to an objective, and it can be a pretty tedious process, especially if you have dog shit players. But you basically guard an object. It's kind of like a large scale gridiron, or guardian mode, kind of like Black Ops 3's Guardian, or Safeguard. It's pretty good. I think it's a cool idea. I hope they do it right. I think World War II did a really good job of it. I think the only thing World War II didn't do, and I hope they do allow in this game, is allow me to get nukes in that mode. Make it available to that mode. Increase it by 10 kills if you have to. I just think that War on War II had that mistake of not allowing you to get nukes. So, like, you would go on a 30-plus kill streak and you would get nothing, which was kind of annoying. So we'll have to wait and see how the war mode's set up. It might be like protects an Abrams or something, or who knows what it could be. It'd be very interesting. I'm glad to see they're bringing back some of the modes from World War II. That game had some really underrated modes, like Horde Point, and Leprechaun Hunt, Mosh Pit. It had some really cool modes in that game. I'm glad that they're dipping back into that. I mean, it is Sledgehammer that's making this game. That's also another leak that we have confirmed by now, is that we will be getting. It will be a Sledgehammer-made game. His official name is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, so they're kind of going on to the same... Well, that's according to the leaks anyway, so again, take all these leaks with a grain of salt. But they're pretty reputable sources they're coming from, so I'm pretty confident that these leaks are accurate. But it's going to be called Modern Warfare 3, same as Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 2019. This color scheme is a little different. So past CODs have had pretty generic color schemes. So in Modern Warfare 2 2009, I think if I remember correctly, the color scheme was like orange, orange color. I think it might have been like a dark brown or something, if I remember correctly. Modern Warfare 3 2013, 2014, in that general area of time, was green, I think it was. It was like a neon green. And then Model for 2019, it was, I believe, blue, if I remember correctly. If I'm saying these wrong colors, let me know down below. It's been a long time, but I'm pretty sure it was blue. And then, obviously, Model for 2 we have now is kind of changing in color every season, but I think it was originally orange, like an orange color, and then obviously other CODs have had their different colors, but this one's going to be like neon blue, like a bright, like ocean blue. So that'll be very interesting. I'm hoping that they play into that color scheme a little bit, because usually color schemes are just for the main menus, but I hope we get some cool stuff like gear sets or anything that are matching that. I think it'd be pretty cool. So it's kind of weird how the perk system kind of is. I'm going through some of the notes that I have here, and I did mention in my notes that the perk system is expected to be traditional, but they are doing things like Ninja will be attached to boots or gloves or anything like that. So it's still confusing to me a little bit, but we'll have to wait and see at the private beta how that goes. So they have released some of the guns. I'm not too sure how to feel about some of the guns. I think it's going to be interesting. They have affirmed that all guns that are on MW2 will be coming back. So, like, if you have Orion or whatever, you can still use your guns with Orion on the new COD, on, like, whatever modes those guns are acceptable. I would like to see them implement a way to use the MW2 guns in MW3's multiplayer. I think that would be very interesting. Being allowed to use, like, the M4 from MW2 alongside the M4 from MW3. I think that's going to be very interesting, because, I mean, they have some guns that will be duplicates. So I had a list, but I can't seem to find it, but there was a list of all the guns that were confirmed for MW3, and one of the new guns that they were bringing is the Scar H. But if you don't know already, we already have the Scar H in MW2. We actually have 3 different versions. We have a SCAR H, a regular SCAR, and a SCAR L, I believe. So we have a bunch of different versions of the SCAR, and then obviously you can make your own version as well on top of that. Let's see, here I gotta find it. So some of the guns that we have confirmed, you have the AK-556 variant, so that's going to be your AK-74, pretty much, your AK-545, pretty much, that you have in mw2. The COG-58 and the Anvil B, the MCW, those I have no idea what those can be. We have the MTZ-556 and the MTZ-762. So the 762 MTZ is the SCAR H, so I'm assuming the 556 version is the SCAR, the regular basic SCAR. We're also getting the Lock 9, which is the MP5. We're getting the Uzi. So something we didn't see in this year's COD, which was really surprising we didn't see an Uzi. But we're going to get one next season, or next game. We're getting the Star 9, which the only thing I can think of Star 9 would be like the Tarov, I think it's called, or the Sarkov, maybe, but that's interesting. There's no pictures of these, unfortunately, so we're kind of just going off of file names for the guns so far. Striker 45, which is going to be basically your UMP, so I'm really glad to see the UMPs coming back. That's a gun that, in recent years, I think hasn't been done super well. So I would like to see a traditional UMP 45. I think that would be great to see one of the more old school variations. Bass P, which obviously, if you guys remember, we have the Bass P and mw2, so that's coming back. Let's see. We also have the Sidewinder. I don't know exactly what the Sidewinder is. It doesn't clarify like what it is. But from the sounds of the name, I'm going to assume it's probably a pistol, like a Magnum or a Deagle form. We have the KVB-73 and the KVS Terminus. I'm assuming the Terminus is a sniper. That would make the most sense. It's usually the bigger word. Guns are usually snipers in COD for some reason. We have the AMR-50. Again, sounds like a heavy sniper, like a 50 cal. It has the Rival 9 and then the Rafifka, I think that's how you pronounce it. The Rafifka sounds more like a Magnum, or a version of a Magnum. So those are the confirmed guns. We're also apparently getting some other classic guns like the Striker 40, the Dafia, which I don't know what that is. Then obviously the AK, SCAR H, and MP7, MP5. That's just some of the guns that have been leaked. And then also, again, like I said before, the guns from mw2 will be obviously available, and all your bundles, all that you buy will be available. However they see fit to allow them to be used in the next game. So I know it's going to be a long video, but that's pretty much it of the leaks. There's not much more that we know currently. We know that the announcement of the game will be in Season 5 in Warzone 2. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys are excited for the new game. I kind of am. I mean, I have my concerns. I think my biggest concern right now is that SPMM will pretty much demolish the game before it even gets started. MW2 is having this issue currently with the SPMM kind of killing the game from the inside out. So I'm really hoping that we see a return of the SPMM going away, but we'll have to see how it goes. There's MW2 maps are also coming, but like the original MW2 maps, but I don't really think that's a leak. I think that it's pretty obvious that's going to happen. I'm really surprised we haven't gotten more MW2 maps in MW2. Kind of made sense to bring the MW2 maps back, but we'll have to wait and see. If you guys have any ideas or thoughts, let them down below. Also, let me down below what you guys think Season 5 is going to be about. I'm kind of interested to see what MW2 does with Season 5. I'm hoping we get another assault rifle, and maybe another LMG, maybe. I think it'd be very interesting to get like I don't know, maybe a chain, like the chainsaw from like 2019 MW. I would really like them to throw in the ACR. I think if they don't throw the ACR in now in this game, they need to do it in mw3. I think it's been years, like literally, like almost a decade since we haven't had an ACR, a true ACR in the game. We're talking like the last time we had a true ACR was literally Modern Warfare 3, the original. Um, that's a long time. Like through Advanced Warfare, through Modern Warfare 2019, Infinite, Black Ops 3, 4, Cold War, now Modern Warfare 2, 2022, and COD 4 remastered. All these games we have had yet to have an ACR, and I think that is a major loss. As a whole, I think we need one. At this point, I think they need to add it, and it needs to be the most broken gun ever. Um, Especially for us OGs out here who used hundreds of hours in the ACR and the originals. I think it's important. Um, with that being said, that's pretty much it, y'all. Hope y'all have a great day. I know this video's coming out kind of late. Tomorrow I want to get a head start. I'm trying to fix my sleep schedule as we go, but tomorrow I plan to stream. Um, Probably some Black Ops 4. I don't know. Um, but I love you guys. You're one of a kind. You're beautiful. The next one. It's been your boy. Peace.